Hey guys, in this video I'm going to talk to you about how you can optimize the titles, the meta descriptions, and URLs for your products. This might be taking you like several minutes or different hours depending on how many products you have set up on your store. But this is actually one of the most important things that you can do, and it's not going to be very difficult. It might be taking you a little bit of time, but trust me that it's going to be worth it. So first off, I want to give you like some kind of a background on the Google search results. And as you probably know, they are broken up into three main elements: the titles, the URLs, and meta descriptions. I'm going to show you here a quick search to show you what I'm talking about. Like, for example, I'm going to type 996 Lamborghini car cover as an example. And as I type, you're going to see here plenty of results, right? So let's take the first one, for example. You see here, this is the title, the main title right here. You see, this one below in green is the URL, and this one is the description, the meta description right here. See the gray. So fortunately for you, Shopify allows you to set each of these elements for your pages when they show up in the search results. But before diving into how to do that, I'm going to talk to you about the why you have to do this. So why you need to care about this? It's very simple, and for two reasons. First, you want to make sure Google show your product. Google is constantly trying to figure out what your page is about, and they want to determine how relevant it is for a given set of terms, of search terms. So if you can help Google with that, your chances of showing on the first few pages for a given search, they improve dramatically. And the second reason is to get people to click, of course. You want your visitors to, once your product page appears in a search result, you want your visitors to click over to your site to view the product. The best way to do that is to very accurately tell them what your product is so they can tell that it's what exactly they want. So how you are going to do that? It's pretty simple. You just need to head over the admin panel of your store, and I'll walk you through exactly how to do that. I'm going to show you one example, and you can just do the same thing for every product in your catalog. So I'm going to head over my admin panel, which is this one right here, and go and click in the left navigation right here in the admin section of your store. Just click on products right here. Then click, oh, sorry, page. Then click on the first product that you want to optimize. See, I got a few products here. I'm going to show you really quick. So, for example, I'm going to click on the magnetic earrings, bright, sexy earrings for men and women. This one right here, this first product. This is a store where I sell earrings, magnetic earrings, which is very popular. I used to sell a ton of these little earrings. They're kind of cool. So in this case, in this example, I'm going to show you basically I want you to scroll down the page until you see the section which is this one right here, the search engine listing preview. So as you can see, there are just click on edit website SEO here. So they are just and it looks like this. As you can see, I have already created here the title and the description, but I'm going to show you. So this is where you are going to do your work for every product. As you can see, you've got a place to edit your title, meta description, and URL, as I told you before. So Shopify pre-populates these fields when you first create your product. So don't worry, I mean, you just need to change it accordingly. So it pulls the product title in as the page title. So I type this here, and then if you scroll down, you're going to find it here because it's pre-populated. So as well as, of course, the first 160 characters right here of your product description for the meta description. And finally, it set the URL to match your product name with dashes in place of spaces, because as you know, you can have spaces in URLs. So in some cases this might be okay, but usually it needs some you just need to fine-tune to maximize your SEO. So the page title is excuse me, the page title is, this is what shows up, as I told you, as the first blue link part of a search result. This one right here is the blue link. So the meta title is what potential visitors see in their search results on search engines, and you can just edit this by clicking on the page and scrolling down to this section that I show you. You want this title to match as closely as possible to what someone would search for when looking for your product. Make your page title as descriptive as possible, but also something that, of course, makes sense. It should read like a coherent explanation, not just, something, not just like a string of simple keywords, because Google suggests that every page title across your site has to be unique. So for my product here, I'm going to make my page title something like, you see, something like this, basically: magnetic earrings, bright, sexy earrings for men and women. So I pretty much got lucky here, because as you can see, the title, this is exactly kind of like 55 characters long, so which is the maximum length Google wants you to use. So, and of course you can see here there's a handy character counter built, so you can see if you're on track or not. So my advice to you is that don't just put keywords into your page titles or descriptions, like, because you don't just stop them there, because Google is not dumb, certainly, and will not treat your page better than the others. So what I can my advice for you is just make each page title on your site unique. So now about the URL. There are several URL best practices recommended by Google, and fortunately Shopify already has them built in, so you don't have to worry about it. All you need to worry about is creating a URL that has relevant descriptive words about your product, so that both search engines and people can figure out what your page is about. And just keep it simple. Like, don't make it too complicated. Like, this isn't just a place to stuff keywords. So in my case, for example, I'm going to say something like, let's say unisex um, earrings, something like diamonds earrings, something like that. Just be creative. It's descriptive, and it has appropriate keywords, as you can see, and it's short and sweet. So let's go. Remember that if you change the URL to your page after it has already been up for a while, and of course already indexed by Google, you will break any existing links to it. Just keep that in mind. For example, if your URL was something like red velvet, and then you change it to red velvet cake, white cake, something like that, then any existing links to it will break. The solution is to create a redirect from the old URL to the new one. My tip to you is that don't make your URL overly long. A few words at most is sufficient. So your URL should also be unique. But don't worry because Shopify ensures that. So you're okay. Now the meta description right here. This is the text again that shows up under your title and URL in the search result and can help the visitor find your site like he wants, and so he can click it. The goal of a meta description, according to Google, is that it has to summarize what your page is about, and it should be well descriptive of your page. And that's an important place to start because it should give the visitor a reason to click your result as opposed to all the other ones on the page. So you of course want him to click your result, not the other ones. The first step is to make sure you are describing your item well so they know that you have what they are looking for. But you also want to give them a little extra encouragement to click. Like, for example, I can give you some quick ideas on adding some encouragement to click your results. Like, if you are not sure what to write, what you can do is basically list the benefits that your visitor will gain from your product. Like, for example, in this case, I have typed, you will love wearing these bright diamond earrings. They won't only look amazing on you, or nice or cool, whatever, but you'll feel classy and sexy at the same time. So that's an idea. If your product is very technical, you might be want excuse me, to add some technical detail to show visitors how well matched you are to what they are looking for. So, for example, like you could say something like this professional Samsung zoom lens is the most current version of this lens, and it's perfect for photography. To take pictures or something like that. Or another good idea is to include a unique selling point of your product. Like, for example, I'm just making an example right now, but like, this red jacket was worn by Michael Jackson when he was at the Academy Award, in 1988, something like that. The story behind this shirt is something particularly, something like that. So just be creative. Remember, like, there are like a few tips that I can give you is try to avoid some duplicate content already in your title. Make sure that your description can be easily read, so avoid any excessive punctuation or excessive content. It should read like a just short paragraph like this. You may have noticed that I left the final sentences in the example here unfinished, and that's a reason for that. That's not unintentional. It's intentional because the idea is to make the visitor click so he can get the rest of the story. It's not necessary or appropriate, but it's certainly something that you might be want to try. So in each product page, you'll notice also a section for tags, which is this one right here. See? Many people often ask me about that, but the answer is that it doesn't impact SEO. Basically, they are not used for SEO. They have nothing to do with meta tags, which is an HTML and SEO term. This just serve a useful. This is just a function inside Shopify, but are not directly related to SEO. So that's going to be pretty much, you see, like your final result. It's pretty easy, as I showed you, nothing complicated. Just be creative. This is just an example that I created for you. So of course, don't forget to put images for your product. In the next video, I'm going to show you how you can do that for the pages and blog posts.